Happy Self Love Sunday, ladies. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that your journeys are going well. I cannot believe today is it's like August already, right? It's like where has the time gone? Everything is flying, but August is a beautiful month for me because it is my birthday month. Hey, Leos. And I'm just super excited. I'm also just excited for a new month, right? Last week we talked about setting boundaries. And if you didn't get a chance to check that video out, please do so. Check out my YouTube page, Sass, and I'll post the link at the end for you to go back and watch any of the videos that you missed from me and on any given Sunday. But I want to talk about like new month, setting new goals and new intentions because sometimes we set goals and intentions for the year, right? And we do our vision boards for the year. But I like to also within when a new month start, kind of set some new things for myself. I think that's so important, right? So that gives us a chance to celebrate the little things. Also, people tend to want to do their vision boards December or January of the next year. I tend to like to do mines generally by October. So about this time, I'm going to start thinking about what I really want to manifest and what I really want for myself coming for 2021. And I set because to me, you're kind of behind the eight ball if you're doing it in December and January. Like we're already going into that month. Okay, so by the time October comes and we have everything set, we're working towards those things so that 2021 we're already starting off on a good foot, right? So when a new month comes, that helps me to do that, right? So August, I have these things that I really want to get out of my head and onto paper, and that's a very important point is journaling out those things you want to do. Some people don't like to use vision boards. I happen to love them because I set them in my room and then I can see what I put on it for myself for the year or even for the month. It just gives me a visual, and I'm turning around here because I really, for those of you who are listening to the podcast piece, you're not going to get to see this video. But again, if you have a chance at a later time to go to the YouTube channel, you can see it. But I love these boards. This was my 2020 board. And, some of the things that I put on it, I like to look at this and, it's just sitting in my room. And I'm like, I'm aware of where I am in that and what I need to work towards, right? So I think that is so important each month to kind of get yourself into that habit of doing that, and then set your goals and intentions for the new year. Try to have that developed by October of the prior year, and then you're working on it in November, December, going into January. I just think it's so important to have goals and plans written out. Now, granted, things are going to change. Look at 2020. None of us saw this coming, okay? None of us saw this timeout that the whole world was put on coming. However, with me still having some goals and intentions and some visions for myself, it still allowed me to stay focused on some of those things so I didn't get lost in the noise of everything that's going on. Because here's the thing, 2020, we have coronavirus, COVID, Rona for my people, Rona. But there's always going to be something. There's always going to be a distraction. There's always going to be people pulling you in 20 different directions, telling you should do this, you should think this, you should feel that, you should eat this, you should walk like this, you should talk like this, you should do this, right? There's always going to be the noise. How you keep yourself above the noise is having things set for yourself, and that way you're the CEO of your life. You're not allowing all the things to go in the world to lead you in whatever direction is telling you that you need to go, right? And it's okay to take some of those things in. It's okay to, you know, help out with the things that's going on in the world and being a part of it. That's okay. But it shouldn't be so much so that you're so distracted and you're so engulfed in it that it's causing you anxiety, that it is causing you to become depressed, that it's causing you to become off balance. I see that happen with so many people. They're so engulfed on what's going on the news, which is not news. When I was growing up, people reported real news and real facts. Nowadays, it's all opinion based, and it's the same thing on every channel, but given whose ever the opinion it is, it's going their way. It's all craziness. You have to allow yourself to step back from those things It's like you become so engulfed with social media and what people think and say about what you post and what you do. So you're living for everybody else and everything else but yourself. You got to start living for you, getting into you. This is why it becomes so important to know who you are, to get to know who you are. Learn what your triggers are. Ooh, that's a big one, right? Learn what your triggers are. Learn what makes you happy. What do you want? I see so many people talk about what they don't want. What Start speaking what you want. Write down what do you want? And if you don't really know who you are, start to ask yourself some questions. Get to know you. Get to know what you love. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to give back to this world? Because if you don't understand that you are here for a purpose and a meaning in life and to give back, that's already a problem within itself. But before you can get there, you have to get into you. Know what you love. Know what you want to do. Know where you want to be. Know the people that you want to surround yourself with. More often than not, these days, I'm not surrounded by anyone. And that's not because I don't have great people in my life. I do. But I know that this year was kind of a year where I need to get into myself a little bit more. I'm growing, I'm evolving, and it's so great. And for my people, it's so dope. Like, yes. And I do that with myself sometimes because I see my growth in different areas and it's to be celebrated. You know what I mean? And I want to keep going in that direction of just keep growing and evolving to bigger things and bigger heights. And I'm gonna tell you a little one of the best tools and tricks and tips to get there. The number one thing that I did, and I promise you, people will say this is cliche. Don't let them do it. Listen to me when I tell you this. I started to become thankful for the littlest things. And when I started to become thankful for the littlest things while I'm doing my intentions and while I'm setting my goals, I started to receive everything. And it sounds crazy, and I'll give you a prime example. Yesterday, I'm in the furniture store because I had to get a new living room set because my son moved into his own apartment. I gave him all of my stuff. Listen, anything you need here, if that means you're not going to be living at home. Hello. So I had to go buy a new living room set, and originally the price that they quoted me was like $200 higher than what they actually ended up charging me. And I look up and I say, thank you. And most people think, what? Like, and I'm like, no, that's just it. Because I'm thankful for those little wins. The big ones come and they keep coming. And I'm gonna tell you, I've never been more financially free, so to speak. That doesn't mean I don't have some debts and things like that, but I'm financially free. I'm no longer burdened when things happen or things come up financially, right? Before I used to be stressed out, over anxious because I'm a single mom, and I'm running my own business and, I have a job and I'm trying to make everything work, the way it needs to work, and it's hard. And I used to be so stressed and just, I don't feel any of that anymore. I get on my spreadsheet because I have a spreadsheet for my bills and I go over everything. If something needs to be tweaked, I tweak it. And if something needs to be changed, I change it. If something's a little, higher than what I want it to be, I work on a plan to get it down. But in the meantime, in between time, a little check from my insurance company coming to be $80, and I'll say thank you. In the meantime, in between time, a little check will even come from the state that I didn't expect, and it'll be like, I don't care if it's $10. I'm saying thank you. Why? Because it's those little things that I keep plugging on those things and they keep going down, and I see my debt going down and down and down and down and down, and I have to say, you think that happened by coincidence? No. It's because I've been thankful and I've been allowing myself to sit back and say to the universe and to God, I know you got me. I'm no longer going to stress about that. I'm no longer going to worry about that. I'm going to cast my worries and my doubts and my fears over there. Right? And then every time something comes, thank you. I'm thankful. And you listen, you have to know me to know this smile is not fake at all. It's one of those things where I start to feel it. I feel it every time because the more I am thankful for every little thing, little things just keep on coming. just keep on coming and keep on happening. And I'm happy as hell. Like, happy as hell right now. People are all in disarray and all over the place and going crazy. And I'm over here like, do. Right? It doesn't mean things are perfect. Don't get it twisted, because I always like to say that before I wrap this video up. No, I have things going on in my life. And there's sometimes, like, I'm not do, right? I'm like, somebody gonna get hurt, right? But for the most part, and I would say 90% of the time, 90% of my life, I'm do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 10%, I'm like, I gotta dance through this storm, because right now, this is killing me. This is on my nerve, or this person is working my nerve, right? Or these kids are getting on my last nerve, right? That's 10%, but I'll take it. You know why? Because even a year ago, it was the opposite, right? It was more like 90% all over the place, right? And I wouldn't say 90%, that's kind of a stretch, but I would say more like 75-25. It was like I was all over the map, and anxiety, and just going through a bunch of mess, and didn't know how to get through it, and all that thing. And as I'm growing through it now, I realized it was that piece that was missing, the piece of giving it and casting it and saying, I know, listen, I love the universe and the universe loves me. I know that you have my back. Thank you, God. I know that I no longer have to worry about this anymore. I'm going to hand this over to you, right? And then just keep working and working and working without any fears that it's not going to work out in my favor. And it has. So I thank you for listening today. If you want to reach out to me for coaching, it is mosassfitness at gmail. mosassfitness at gmail.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, it's mosassfitness LLC. I will post my YouTube link after this video. I really hope that you take the time just to kind of listen, and just, even if you never reach out for coaching, if you want to just have a conversation, I'm always open for it. If you just need a little bit of direction, I'm open for it. Reach out. Like, that's what I'm here for. And it's okay to ask for help. I used to be like that too. These videos would come up where these people were talking, and I would have questions and I would have things on my mind, but I never took the time to dig into it, or reach out, because I was always afraid to ask for help. Reach out. I'm here. I love you. We're going to get through this together. It takes a village. I want you to be a part of my village. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I will talk to you next week.